Did Shedeur make the right choice?
Look, I'm glad you said that, because this is all speculation. We don't know
Apparently,
if this is
right,
100% true.
Although Adam Schefter did report it.
Oh,
He did.
if Adam
He did.
Schefter said it, it's 100.
Well,
100%.
but then they went straight to the source. After the game on Sunday, they went up to Sheduer Sanders and they said, did this happen? Did you say this? And his exact answer was, my mind doesn't remember. So that tells me, reading between the lines, that it did happen. But I don't mind that answer. I'm glad that he said that. Look, this is something that happened in the past, right? I'm not going to lie about it and say no if it didn't happen, but I'm also not going to say yes and make this a big story. I love the way he handled it. I think that's very mature of him.
Huh? He had no choice in that matter.
Yeah. Once
he got reported,
but he could have But instead, he said, look, I'm not going to talk about this. No comment. Let's move on. I don't want to take away from the team. I don't want to be a distraction. I love that. But if it is true, I find it very bizarre. If I'm Sheduer Sanders, I would much rather go to the Baltimore Ravens and back up Lamar Jackson instead of going to the Cleveland Browns after they drafted a guy in the 3rd round already and going on a depth chart that has 5 quarterbacks to a team that's notorious, and I know personally, for not developing quarterbacks the right way.
Right.
They aren't successful in Cleveland. And I know Shedeur thought of it maybe as a sense of, I want to play right away. Lamar's going to be in Baltimore for a long time. But you go there as a backup, you get in a winning culture, you get developed the right way, you're behind one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, and then you go ball out in preseason, like I know he can. You go ball out when, hey, the Ravens are locked for the #1 seed in the playoffs. You're going to get a game to yourself with great talent around you. You go ball out in that situation, and then you get teams come knocking after 1 or 2 years saying, hey, we need a starter, and Sanders looks great because he didn't get forced right away or he's not being developed the right way that he would be in Cleveland. So I just, if that was the case, I wish he would have went to Baltimore. Now, the other thing, and a different angle on this, again, all speculation. I don't know Shedeur personally, but I wonder if Shedeur, when it got to that point in the draft, just wanted to go undrafted at that point. And he didn't want to go to the Ravens, and that's why he said, don't draft me. And you may look at me like I'm crazy, but hear me out. When you get to that 5th, 6th, 7th round, it's almost better if you're Sheduer Sanders and he has the money and he's a great young man with the NIL and he's smart with his money, to go undrafted, take a step back, and then you control your own destiny and look at this roster and that roster and this roster. And I can sign somewhere as an undrafted free agent, and my agent can negotiate instead of getting buried on a depth chart and going to a bad situation. I really think that played a big part. I'm not saying that guys want to go undrafted. Don't get me wrong. It is a blessing. It's an honor to be drafted in the NFL. Not everybody has that luxury. But for me, I just feel like maybe he said that to say, hey, I don't want to go somewhere 5th, 6th, 7th round because I know I'm not going to go compete right away. Or I'm not going to get the opportunities as a 5th, 6th, 7th round pick to get a chance to go start. So let me step back, go look at maybe the Saints. I know it's not a great organization right now, but I can compete there. Kellen Moore's the head coach. Go look at these some of these other teams to where I can go compete maybe in year 1 or 2 that have a veteran quarterback instead of just going to Cleveland and getting buried on a depth chart. So, again, I don't know if it's true.
That's what he saw in Cleveland, though. He could have told Cleveland the same shit, right? Don't draft me. But he accepted it because that's what he saw in Cleveland.
And if that's the case,
opportunity to play.
I just don't like that.
Yeah,
so you would have went to Baltimore because that's the backup quarterback in you. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no backup quarterback in Shedeur. He don't got that bone in his body. So you want to play.
This is the NFL. You're one play. Look at Joe Burrow right now.
So look,
Lamar Jackson could go down at any moment, and
But once you get to the 5th round, and I'm not saying he was a 5th round pick, but once you get to the 5th round, I'm not saying from the beginning, but at that point in the 5th round, it's like, all right, no one's drafting me to go be a starter.
Why he say the same thing to Cleveland?
I don't know if they gave him the choice. That's the thing why I say all speculation. I don't know if they
Lamar
told him they're going to draft him.
The next backup quarterback there is Cooper Rush. He a damn good backup. He's already 2nd on the depth chart. You know what I'm saying? He could move a little bit. He could put a Lamar impression on.
Why couldn't he come to them and say,
look, I'm taking Shedeur over Cooper Rush?
But I want to be in the
because Shedeur has stardom.
He played no football.
He got stardom, starter. That's what's in his blood. That's all he know. So he want to go to a situation where he got a chance to start.
He's not even getting.
I mean, he ain't know it was going to be like that. But you look at him now, right? All right, they start 0-2 right now. Shit, you look at their next 2 games, it's like the Lions and somebody. They probably going to be 0-4. Then Gabriel will be up. If Gabriel don't go 4-1 or 3-2, who turn is it next? It's going to be Shedeur time. By week 9, Shedeur is going to do exactly what he went there for. He's going to have his 4 games to start. You remember how I was in Tampa? We used to go through quarterbacks like goddamn bags of chips. It's like, hey,
that's the problem.
I'm done with this flavor.
Too.
You go to the next one. I'm done with this flavor. Like, bro, long as they losing games, they going to keep on trying different guys. So Flacco won't stay upright. You know what I'm saying? He getting his ass tore up already. Once he start 0-4, okay, Dylan, let's go. Dylan threw a touchdown, showed a little promise. If Dylan don't go 4-1 or 3-2, if Dylan hop in and go 1-4, It's going to be, okay, next. Let's see what Shedeur. Our crowd getting fed up with it. We tired of the media. Let's just throw him in there. Fucking
So you're saying,
anyway.
you think Shedeur has a better chance of success of going in at 2-8 at that point in Cleveland with a bad team than going and sitting for a year or two, developing in that organization behind Lamar Jackson, and then teams come knocking and saying, hey, we want you to come to the
I think he has a better chance to start a game in Cleveland more so than in Baltimore.
But that's not always the best thing because
But that's the best thing for Shedeur.
I don't think
he don't
so.
have backup blood. He
I'm
will
not saying
not
he
play
does.
football. He will stream all his
But I'm
fucking
not
life
saying he
and
go-
make millions. It's
He
not
will.
about being a backup in the best situation. I want to fucking start and be the star.
But-
Simple as that.
but
If I can't start and be the star, then I can do other shit. I'm already rich.
Fit and system is so important for a quarterback more than any other position in
Right.
all of sports. If you throw a quarterback in before they're ready, you could significantly hurt their development and their confidence. And as a young player, because I got thrown into
Right.
Cleveland as a rookie because
Thank you,
RG3
Brody.
got hurt, Josh McCown got hurt.
Right.
I played decent,
Yeah.
but I can't tell you how hard it is to go in the locker room at 0-8 every week saying, you know what, I am a starter in the NFL.
Hey, some
It
guys,
sucks.
Just like you
some
talked about
guys,
Baker.
some guys, confidence in their head, they feel like, hey, shit, when I get my op, I'll be the one who turns
So,
this shit around.
I agree.
That's the Shedeur type mentality.
And I think
You know what
Shedeur
I'm saying?
can
That's
do
what
it.
they feel.
I
Here's,
agree.
I think it's a combo of what both of y'all said. I believe he should, when you get to this is all a matter of the Sanders family handling the draft process wrong. Let me tell you what I mean. So they went into the draft process believing he was the first or second quarterback taken. Before all of that, all these reports of, well, you heard Deion say, shoot, the one team he ain't going to is Cleveland. Red flag, can't do that. Shedeur before, he's talking to Shiloh, he wearing Giants cleats. Shoot, we know where we going. Shiloh told him, man, you don't know where you going to end up going. What if they don't take you? Oh, we know where we going. Everything is adding up to this point. They're going into this thing thinking they have leverage on the whole situation. Once you get to the 5th round, all that leverage is gone. This is not an Eli Manning situation where you're the first pick and you say, nah, you're not the first pick. You're in the 5th round at this point. With what Aqib is saying, I fully agree. If you handle the draft process like that, you're already thinking, this is who my son is. He's thinking, I know who I am. I'm not going to be nobody's backup. That's not what I want to do. The problem with it is you're in the 5th round at this point.
Right.
So you don't know what happens next. You turn down that team of all teams, league MVP, great organization, legendary pedigree. Your pops played there. There's a lot of positive, but if he's believing like what you're believing, he's not going to go to be a backup. He's going to say, I'll take my chances. The reason I believe that was the wrong decision, because you're in the 5th round at this point. At this point, if somebody wants me, that's what people don't understand about the NFL. When a team wants you, what has been the big story of the Cleveland Browns? They don't want him. That's what everybody been saying. They wanted who they took. And now would the owner come out, well, that wasn't my pick. I ain't pick him. That was a him thing. That wasn't a me thing. Now you go into an organization where they don't even.
Somebody ain't even wanted him.
That's what I'm saying. But that's the risk you take when you pass on a team who's calling like, hey, listen, we are going to take you. Now, I'm in the 5th round at this point. And of all places to go is Baltimore. Shoot, let's see what happened. But I fully understand why he said, nah. Because it's what he's saying. Think about this is the Sanders family. Just look at all of them across the board. Deion ain't like that. Shiloh ain't like that. Shedeur ain't none of them like that. Where they like, no, I'm taking the back seat. They're not a take a back seat type of family.
No.
He believed he was the best, not just quarterback, player in the draft. I'm the one. I know that they might take Cam Ward, but he was wearing them red and blue cleats because he's thinking, okay, well, I'll just go to the Giants. I'm going to be with the Giants. He hanging out with Malik. This is his mindset. So when he gets to the 5th round, his mindset ain't changed. You seen the interview he did. He said, hey, listen, ain't nothing changed with me. None of us expected this, but I'm still me. We're going to get in and we're going to do what we're going to do.
That's it.
He's not thinking, I'm going to play behind Lamar, because Lamar is Lamar. He ain't going nowhere. Look at the Baltimore organization and how they players are. The people who go to Baltimore, all they legends and the history they have, they retire there. So he thinking, I ain't never going to play here.
Right.
Even if Lamar get hurt, at some point he coming back, and then I'm right back on the bench. So you pass up on that. I don't believe passing up on that was the right move, but I fully understand why, and it's because of what you said. I'm not sitting behind nobody because I believe I should have been a first-round pick anyway, so I'll take my chances. Problem is, it ended up being Cleveland, and that's the risk you take. So I think that the way they went about it, they tried to use first overall pick, leverage in the 5th round, and that don't work once you get to the 5th round.
All good points. So I get angry when I talk about this, but I'm going to restate my case. I said before the draft, Shedeur should go number 1 overall, and if he ever gets an opportunity anywhere in this league, he will be a star in this league. I'll stake my reputation on that.
Yep.
And what happened to him in this draft was the most shameful development I have ever experienced in the National Football League in all the drafts I've ever covered. So when Adam Schefter did report this, my first thought was exactly your thought about mentality. Even Mel Kiper had him ranked above Cam Ward. And Mel's been doing this longer than I have. And because of that, your mindset, you came from Deion. You were raised around stars and superstars to be a superstar. It's in your bloodline. It's your whole approach. Your mentality is you think, maybe to a fault, that you're the best player in the draft. And to a fault, you expressed that in several pre-draft interviews at the Combine, and it did you in because the NFL won't play that game. They're going to teach you and your father a lesson. We don't do it like this. You can't talk to us like that. You can't be that brazen, that overconfident, that dismissive, that irreverent to us. You can't do that. We're going to show you. And you can't tell me that a whole lot of GMs and scouts were all laughing their asses off as he fell 2nd round, 3rd round, 4th round. We taught him a lesson. So when I get to Baltimore, again, it was surprising to me that there was any conversation before the pick because to your point, there's none required. You can just pick whoever you want to pick. Yeah. You don't have to get their approval to pick you, right?
Right.
But because Deion did play there, I'm just assuming this, and I do know Deion very well, but he played there it was at the end of his career, but he and Ozzie are really close. And Ozzie is still overseeing the operation in Baltimore, Ozzie Newsome, the great Ozzie Newsome. So I'm assuming Ozzie let Deion know, hey, we're thinking about this. Would you be cool with it? And both, probably the kid said, because the kid's kind of breaking away from his father now because he wants to be his own man. He doesn't want everybody to think, well, I'm a product of my father because he's his own man and he's ready to become his own man. So I assume it was Shedeur who said, I want a chance, and I'm not going to have a chance. Because remember, Cooper Rush had already signed in Baltimore. He is. I always called him the best backup quarterback in the league because he can play. He's not Dak. He's not Tom Brady. I'm just saying, if you need 5 games, 4 games, throw him in, and he will not embarrass you.
Right.
Yep.
Okay. So he really knows how to play, and so if you put Shedeur 3rd string behind those two, what are the chances? But now that I look at damaged reputation, to the point of, could Baltimore have rehabilitated Shedeur's image around the NFL? Because now you went to a really high quality, tradition-packed organization, play like a Raven. Maybe you sort of rehabilitate your image there and you learn how to be a pro there. Maybe between Lamar and Cooper Rush, they teach you some things that you're not going to learn in Cleveland. Okay, now look, here's the key missing piece to this plot. I missed this until yesterday. I'm looking at the depth chart, and wait a second. At the end of August, the Cleveland Browns went out and signed Bailey Zappi. They did. So now all of a sudden, Shedeur has fallen to 4. Remember, they traded, what's his name? Kenny Pickett. Yeah. So I thought, you cleared the decks a little bit by getting rid of him.
Yeah.
But now, remember, Belichick took Brady Zappi 4th round. So Belichick liked him so much that he started him a couple of games and said, I'm not sure I made the right choice with Mac Jones, because he tried to give Bailey Zappi the job, gave him 2 starts his rookie year, and then gave him 6 more starts the next year. And it's like, here's my next Brady, it's Bailey Zappi. Well, Stefanski likes Bailey Zappi because he started a game in Cleveland last year. So they cut him, then they brought him back, and according to ESPN Cleveland, he's getting all the reps that Bailey, whatever Dylan Gabriel doesn't get in practice, and obviously Flacco.
What do you think that
this is
Cleveland
terrible.
Team, we saw the preseason game with
Yeah.
Shedeur. We're
Oh,
impressed,
he's
right?
there, yeah.
And so what is Cleveland seeing that we're not seeing to keep
They don't
bringing him down?
They
Shedeur down?
have.
They've already
dumped
taken
him. He's dumpster. He's like.
Well, you could probably speak on this better, but let me kind of give you, because somebody asked me that. They said, gee, why the heck is Shedeur not running the scout team? In the NFL, you're 1 and 2. It depends on where you're at, but usually the 1 takes all the actual reps.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then the 2 might get in for 1 or 2 reps with the offense. Well, why is Shedeur not running? Because who's going to give you a better shot of prepping for actual NFL games? A person who has never played in one, or a person who's actually started in games?
Yeah.
Where can Shedeur benefit more? Being on scout team, looking at a card saying throw to him, or when the one offense is over there, I'm standing with coach.
Yeah.
I'm watching our actual offense, and then when the defense is on the field, I'm walking over there with them. We going over cards.
Yeah.
We learning the actual offense of what's happening. To me, he's benefiting better by not being the scout team quarterback, because the reality of a scout team quarterback is they are looking at a card and the coach is saying, throw here. And if you don't throw there, like I remember when Revis was in Tampa, if the quarterback didn't throw how he thought you should throw, he gonna cuss you out. But definitely the coach who done took all these hours to draw these cards up, throw to where I said. You're not getting better like that.
And also, who is the emergency quarterback? If Flacco go down, Gabriel go down, who coming in the game, Zappi or Shedeur?
We don't know.
Zappi. It's not even
Zappi
close.
dressed out?
Yeah.
No, I
I mean, he will.
Shedeur is the
Shedeur the
emergency
third.
Zappi in the street clothes, right?
Zappy's the scout. He's gonna do the scout team, but the emergency guy is
Yeah,
gonna be
they don't
Shedeur.
have 4 quarterbacks dressed out. They got 3.
Okay, well, I think Zappi's going to start dressing because
But I mean-
Stefanski loves it.
I mean,
still think-
Shedeur dressed
I still
out,
think
so
it's gonna be Shedeur
The
dressed
past
out.
2 weeks, if both of them quarterbacks went down, Zappi wasn't coming in.
Nah.
Shedeur was coming in. You know what I'm saying? So it's got to be some type of rhyme.
He don't
all of
need
this-
to be the scout team guy. He needs to be over there learning the offense.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll say this though. All of this is kind of what I'm getting at. That was my original point. Was I like Sheduer Sanders. I think he's going to be a starter in this league. Just as soon as he was drafted to Cleveland, my first thought was, oh no, that is not where he needs to go. I know he has that starter mentality. He can start in this league, but I just wish he would go somewhere to where he can develop. I'm not worried about right now. I'm worried about longevity. I'm worried about
So
you
what
having
about Baker?
a 10-year career.
What did Baker do? Did his career just go to shits when he went to Cleveland, or
No,
did he step in?
But they
take
had a
him to the
better team
playoffs?
when Baker was there. They had a better team. They went and got receivers. They had other guys around him. Their offense was better.
I mean,
the offensive line was
wasn't that
better.
much better.
It didn't go all the way in the
No,
toilet,
but I'm saying
Baker,
Defense
like,
is solid right now. Cleveland got a solid defense right now.
No, their defense is
They
great.
got a number 1 receiver right now. Like, and they got Stefanski.
I'm telling you, I was there in 20
But listen, to your point, Baker's career is like, you pee and hit the top of the toilet, didn't go all the way in, but it was close. In
But
Cleveland,
it didn't though.
it was
He fucking took him to the playoffs.
He shook out, but then what happened after that? Everybody started writing
Well,
Baker off.
that's all Shedeur wants is the opportunity to lead a team to the playoffs. Let me get in the game and show y'all what the fuck I do in the game. You know what I'm saying? I might have came in the meetings wrong. The Sanders might have handled the draft. Fuck all that. When he get in the game, he gonna be Shedeur. I bet you right now in Cleveland building, he's showing them that he really a football nerd. This guy really fucking know football. So he's establishing himself in that building. Man, you put stars on the field, they gonna be stars. Simple as that.
I don't disagree with you at all. I don't. But I just wish it was somewhere else. I wish he would go to a different place where he could be developed. Because the
Like
biggest thing in all this,
Baltimore?
now
You become a backup quarterback, and we can
But not
name
for life.
what backup quarterback has been a backup quarterback and became a starter? Romo, go.
Are you talking about at the same place?
Yeah, they
or
was a
somewhere
backup
else?
quarterback, and they became a starter
but I'm not
in the
saying
NFL.
the same place.
Romo, no, it's just period. Romo didn't go. Who else?
I mean,
Who else are backup quarterbacks?
It's a bad
and they just
example.
became a starter in the league.
It's a
Jordan
Romo.
Love.
Brock
and who
Purdy.
else?
Jordan
Dak
Love.
Prescott.
Jordan
But
Love,
them
Brock
come on,
Purdy.
man.
Are you talking about
Them guys,
no.
Them guys are drafted.
Aqib.
Them guys are drafted to. In 3 years, he finna be the starter. That's not the situation in
No.
Baltimore. You were
That's a
drafted
good
to be
point.
a fucking backup.
I'm not saying that, but
You're
how
not drafted to be the starter in 3 years.
teams
But Brock
nowadays?
Purdy was
In the fifth
Just
round, you not gonna play anyway.
Well, that's
in
a
the
whole
fifth
nother
round.
conversation, bro. The fifth round is bullshit, bro. We know damn well.
Well, he's
why
not-
he
he's
went to
not
the
a
fifth
It don't
round.
matter why he went. We're there now.
Yeah.
Now we're in the
It
fifth
do matter
round.
why he went.
No, because at
Bro,
that
it do
point,
matter why he went, bro.
at that point, he's there. It doesn't matter how he got there. He's
It don't matter.
there.
It do matter. It do matter
It
why
does
he
not.
went.
He's
Yes, it
there.
do. It don't
You
matter.
can't change it. He's in the fifth round.
It don't-
You
if you-
can't,
well, if you a first
can't
pick-
rewind
if you a
time and
top-
go back to the first.
If you a top 3 pick talent and you do some shit like leave, slap a nigga, run a nigga over with a car, you do some shit and you drop to the 5th round, once I get to camp, I am leave, nigga. I'm still leave.
Hey, guess
I'm going
what
to be
Leave
the
did?
starter here,
Guess
man.
what Leave did?
And I'm not going to go nowhere.
If you
Hold
go
on.
to the fifth
I'm not
round-
going to go nowhere where Deion Sanders and Champ Bailey is there. I don't got a chance to play there. Let me go to fucking Cleveland where I got a chance to
You
play.
did all that and leave. Guess where you went? In the first round. The first round.
Because
That's because you leave.
Because I
he
pulled my
went
pants
in the
up.
fifth.
Because I pulled my pants up, I put a button up, and I fooled the shit out them owners. That's not really me,
did-
guys.
you
I'm
did-
Aqib Talib.
how
I
did
don't
you-
do that kind of stuff.
How did you
True.
fool?
I buttoned
how
up
did
and I
you-
interviewed, bro.
But
That's the only thing he did wrong.
He exactly. They handled it wrong, and now we're in the fifth round. You have to move like a fifth rounder.
It don't matter
you
where
are
you
no longer
go.
a first rounder.
Chris went undrafted. Chris Harris went undrafted because he ran slow. But once he got there, he still was fucking Chris Harris. I'm about to be the starting nickel. And he was.
But at
He got
this
the pick
point,
where I can go.
in the fifth round. Chris didn't get the pick where he went. He was undrafted. You're in the fifth round, and this team is saying,
All I'm
we
saying-
want you. So you take the risk of going to Cleveland when you don't go. I understand why he didn't go. But you are in the fifth round and you have not been drafted.
Right.
You cannot act like you are in the first round.
But you
still.
are a totally different type of backup in Baltimore than you are in Cleveland.
I fully
Then
agree.
This backup in Cleveland, you could be the starter at any time. This backup in Baltimore,
All
you have
all-
no fucking chance
but
to
you-
start ever
All
until
I'm-
Lamar says,
all
I
I'm
quit.
saying
No,
is,
that's not- that
all
was
I'm
my-
saying is why he got to the fifth at this point doesn't matter. We can speculate. We can say why, even if we all agree.
Yep.
Let's say we all agree the NFL was out to get Sheduer Sanders.
It was
Okay,
out to prove a point.
okay, point proven. Now he's in the fifth round. Move as if you're in the fifth round now. Stop moving like you're the first pick.
He ain't. He
You're not the first pick
He moving
no
like
more.
he in the 5th round now. All right, let me go somewhere where the fuck I
Well,
can start.
that's
Where
what
can I
I'm
go
saying.
start? Baltimore, no chance. Cleveland, shit, by week 8, I might could be the starter.
He didn't know he was going to Cleveland. He just passed on Baltimore. You don't know.
It's speculation, and that's
We
why I'm
don't-
saying this is all speculation. But that,
He-
I look, even if he goes to Baltimore, Aqib, I'm not saying that he's not going to be a starter in the league. My issue is that if you go to Baltimore, you're going to get developed the right way. Lamar could be there for 8 more years.
Right.
They're going. If he goes out and balls in the preseason, like I know he can, and he gets a real shot, unlike he did in Cleveland, he's not out there with a bunch of 3rd and 4th stringers. I know
Right.
you guys like Cooper Rush. I think Sheduer Sanders is better than Cooper Rush. No disrespect to him. His ceiling is a lot higher.
Right.
And they're going to see that. And if they like him enough, they're going to say, all right, go ball out in the preseason. Go
They
play
gonna
with the
like
ones
you
and
then.
twos.
Once
They
you
don't
ball
play.
out, nigga, so we like you. Come on our team and be another backup.
No,
Because that's the
no,
fact that you're
no,
taking.
because these
like
other
Joe
teams-
Milton, right?
No.
Oh, we fucking like you, Joe Milton. Come be our backup.
No.
Come on, bro. Once you accept
Teams
the
that need a
backup
starter-
jacket, you're a fucking backup.
Teams that need a starter are going to look
Where
at
is-
Shedeur and say, look,
Okay.
no, they're going to see him and say, you are developing the right way. We're going to take you whatever round we need to get a draft pick, or we're going to trade it instead of going and drafting a question
I've
mark.
never seen that happen.
Aqib, if you're
It
a
happens.
good player, it
I see
doesn't
guys
matter if
get
you're a backup
drafted.
or not.
Hold
It's
on
going
real
to
quick,
show.
Kenzie.
Look, I know it's
see
not-
guys get drafted by teams and say, all right, we're going to develop you, and once Favre is gone, we going to let you start.
Look,
I mean, once Aaron Rodgers is gone, you're going to be our starter. I've seen teams draft guys and say, hey, we're going to develop you here. Once he gone, you're going to be our starter. But I don't really see guys go be a backup,
It does-
you ball, and then you go somewhere else, and now you the start. Like, I don't see that shit happen,
Okay, I got
bro.
examples. They're not great examples. Brock Osweiler did it. Went to Houston. I know
Man, Brock
he's
trash
better than
as
Osweiler.
shit.
Jacoby Brissett.
Brock
Jacoby-
trash.
I'm not saying he's this, but I'm giving you an example. You're asking how has that happened? They didn't know he was going to be trash. They thought he was good because he was a good backup and developed behind Peyton. Brock Osweiler did it. Jacoby Brissett bounced around and was a starter on multiple teams because he could play when guys were hurt. Another guy, there's multiple
backup
guys.
quarterbacks.
Mike Glennon. Mike Glennon's another guy that left and went to, went to
He's
Chicago. Now I know they drafted
All
Mitch
those
Trubisky, but
all those guys wear backup quarterback
Hey, get
jackets
off
for
my
life.
guy, Mike.
But
All those guys
they
are
were
backup quarterbacks.
traded for. They gave Brock Osweiler $74 million to go be a starter, 50, whatever it was, to be a starter. If you give Shedeur that opportunity and he develops, He's not going to have
They
a career
highlighted
like
that
those
shit
guys.
Like we will
Yeah.
He's gonna
never
be
do
better.
this again.
So,
Ever.
Aqib,
I don't agree.
in Baltimore, one advantage would be if you were the third string, you would become a much more tradable asset as a Raven than as a Brown. So come trade deadline, if somebody got desperate and they said, oh, well, he's been learning from Lamar and Cooper Rush and that organization.
Develop.
Maybe you could land
I understand
somewhere
that, Skip,
where somebody
but
wanted
guys
you.
like myself,
Yep.
guys like Gerald, guys like Shedeur, we not trying to be tradable assets.
Heck no.
That's not on my mind.
Okay,
So
but
that's
that's
never
what I'm
going to be
saying.
on my mind.
Okay, but-
I'm never going to want to be a tradable asset. I want to be the fucking starter. Where can
Okay,
I go start?
but you-
Bet I'll go there.
And what Keith is saying, that's what I'm saying. I fully agree and understand he is a Sanders.
Come on,
Forget
fam.
all that backup. I'm not going to be a backup. All I'm saying is, at that point in the 5th round, you have to understand,
Yeah.
regardless of where you go,
Yeah.
you probably gonna be the backup.
Right.
You probably gonna be a backup.
He do
you
understand that.
No, I'm saying, but
He
I'm saying,
understand that.
my only thing is passing up on Baltimore. You take the chance of ending up in Cleveland. That's all I'm saying.
And
When
I
he
hate
passed
that
up on it now, because you don't know if you're going to Cleveland.
Okay, and
He
Well,
ended
There
up in
ain't too many
Cleveland.
places that he can go and have an opportunity to start. Probably Cleveland,
I
probably
know,
New
but
Orleans.
that's what
so
he
Cleveland
passed
probably
up
won't
on.
be on this list. Like, shit, Cleveland take me, I'm cool with that. I
Okay,
can
you
start
two,
there.
you two, you didn't get screwed by the NFL. You went in the first round.
Exactly.
Okay,
Yeah.
But
so-
if I would have got screwed, I'm
Yeah.
not going to where Champ Bailey and Deion Sanders are the damn corners. I'm going to, I don't give a fuck what the situation is. I'm going to look at the depth chart. Me and Bro going to look at the depth chart. Shit, you could play there. Hey, I'll go there.
My whole point, you missed my point too. I'm not saying that he would, like, that he didn't want to go to Baltimore, period. I'm saying I wish he would have gone to Baltimore instead of going to Cleveland based on the facts we had.
He didn't
I
know
still
he was
think,
going to
but I
Cleveland.
know, but I still think the
You don't
reason,
know where you
and I know it
going.
sounds crazy, but I still think there was a little part of it. The reason that he said, don't draft me to Baltimore was so that he would hope, and he was probably trying to send that message to everybody, let me go undrafted. I don't need a sympathy pick in the 5th, 6th, 7th round. I know what I'm capable of.
Maybe.
Let me go undrafted. Then I can sit back and say, you know what, now I control my own destiny. It's not Baltimore, it's not Cleveland. Then you look elsewhere.
But I bet
Then
you if
look
the
at other-
Chargers would have tried to draft him, he would have told them the same shit. Please don't draft me.
No,
But they,
Please
I
don't
mean,
draft me. I have
y'all
no
seen
chance.
the video. Y'all seen the
No, he
video when
wouldn't. He said, I can do that.
But y'all
I can
seen
beat
the
out
video. He
Justin
was
Herbert.
talking to Deion
Nah,
when
hell
Deion
no.
was like Flacco
They
my
got a
age.
franchise
Remember
now.
he kept saying, "Oh, they got Joe Flacco." So you know the conversation was, but he did not know he was going to Cleveland. All I'm saying is when you pass up on Baltimore, I don't care if it's the 49ers. When you in the 5th round and you say no, I'm not going there, you just tell everybody no.
Right. Like if the Bills
That's
would
what
have
everybody knows.
That was my point. That's
Just
my
tell
whole
everybody
point.
no.
My only conversation with this again is if
I
you're
don't
giving
think
me
you tell everybody no, though. I
the
think
lesser of two, I'm going to Baltimore instead of going to Cleveland based on those facts. But I think, period, he said-
Baltimore came first. If it was either or,
Yeah.
okay, then we can have the conversation. He
Baltimore.
did not know. He
Yeah.
just said, I ain't going there because I know Lamar
he knew
there.
what teams that
somebody coming next.
He knew what teams where he had an opportunity to play. I got a chance to be the starter, whether it's week 8, 9, 10. I got a chance to be the starter at this, and this team.
So you
There's
take the
some teams
chance
that I
of
have
it
no
being
chance ever.
But you,
Well,
it
why do you
take-
keep saying
that's why
ever?
I understand.
Tom Brady was a 6th-round draft pick. He waited. Next year, Drew
Right, 'cause
hurt his
Tom
knee,
Brady said shit.
and then he's a star. You never know what's going to. Brock Purdy was third on the depth chart. 2 quarterbacks get hurt. Now he's Brock Purdy, $250 million.
Yep.
It's the NFL.
Yep,
Somebody gets
'cause
hurt.
Gerald
your time to
Garoppolo wasn't
shine.
Lamar, and Bledsoe, he was nice, but he wasn't no fucking Lamar.
But they got hurt. That's what matters. If Lamar got hurt, Shedeur could shine with a good
Lamar
team.
got hurt. then
Yeah, but
Cooper
listen,
Rush
I'm
was
gonna keep it a
next.
bean. I'm gonna keep it
Then
a
he can
bean.
be
Bledsoe
out.
ain't no goddamn Brady. When Brady stepped in, it was like,
But
we
they
good.
didn't know that at the time.
He
It
was
don't
still a
matter. When he
six-round
said, hey,
know
listen,
that.
no. He ain't Lamar. Bledsoe ain't Lamar
No,
get
no,
hurt.
no,
Lamar
no.
get hurt.
You gotta put
As soon
that
as
on,
he
like-
get healthy,
Yeah,
he
he's
right back in there.
But then if you go in, like Shedeur,
You
you're
ball
developed,
out.
you go ball out, you got these GMs banging on their
Yeah.
door saying, I'm trading for Sheduer Sanders because he's a starter in this league. Like I
Yeah,
believe
that's
he
a
is.
whole lot of
And they're going to come get him.
He'd rather go somewhere where, all right, I look at this roster, every quarterback on here, I'm better than, send me there.
Man,
100%.
I'll go there. I'm better than Dylan, I'm better than Flacco, send me there. I'll beat them boys out. He want to beat them out right now.
I don't
He's a starter.
disagree, but
he ain't going
he's
to
just
bank on
not-
the nigga. We going to be there sitting like, Lamar, please get hurt.
So
Lamar, please
what
go
I think,
down.
What
Like,
I
nobody
think,
wanna
what
live
I
like
think
that.
happened,
Nobody
what I
wanna
think
play like
happened
that,
is,
bro.
what I think happened is, he said, I'm passing on Baltimore, and then when Cleveland called, they reevaluated. He said, okay, you got Buddy that he got his own issues. Then you got Flacco, okay, because people, I don't know what's gonna happen with Deshaun Watson, but he got
Yeah.
anyway.
You got Pickett.
Pickett's there. You got Joe Flacco there, and then they got Dylan Gabriel.
Who they drafted ahead.
He's thinking to himself, this is what I think. He's thinking to himself, I already passed up on Baltimore. If I pass up on Cleveland, it's either I got to wait for another team or the draft is going to be at the end. And if he's thinking how I believe his family is, because I know his family, Aqib knows his family, that back seat, he thinking, man, first off, I should have been a first-round pick anyway. I'm better than all them. I'm going to go there and take their spot. I think that's why he didn't pass up on
He did not have a choice on Cleveland.
Cleveland.
No, but Cleveland just took him.
Yeah, I agree.
They didn't ask him. They just took him.
Well, 57% of the chat said that he actually made the right choice. So with you guys,
Thank you, chat.
but let's move on. Let's move
Cheers,
on to
chat.
another quarterback
Cheers,
that,
chat.
Aqib and Skip, you guys have debated about.